Hey, happy Tuesday. I'm a little bit late, but I think I'm streaming on all the platforms. Yes, I'm streaming on all the platforms. Happy Tuesday. This morning at 6 a.m., I prayed for five titles. There was My Lighthouse. There was why can't I seem to find them? That's interesting. My Lighthouse, the discipleship opportunity, neighbor love yourself, her part to play, and then I prayed for Prophetic Reset by Joshua Giles. And looks like we will have to um, reschedule that interview with Joshua Giles for another time. But I still wanted to come on here no matter what and talk about Prophetic Reset since it is on sale today and talk about like the differences I see in this devotional versus his other books and all of those things. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm going to treat this like it's an actual book review time. So I got Prophetic Reset, finally got it. I'm really excited. I actually ordered it on Amazon and it said it would be here August 1st, which is a no-go. I mean, it still would have been fine if it came August 1st. And then the notification said that it was coming July 2nd, which is, it's fine. July 2nd is okay. Glad you got yours today. That's really good. Mine said July 2nd, which is fine. But I went to Barnes and Noble this past weekend as like a mini birthday celebration with some people, and I actually saw the book in Barnes and Noble Saturday afternoon. And I was super excited. It was only one copy. I walked right into the religion section, saw the book, picked it up, turned back, walked to the people I came in with, and was like, "Look, here it is, right here. It's not supposed to be here. It doesn't come out to Tuesday." Like all the things, but I'm so glad I picked it up. I mean, I wasn't gonna not pick it up. So glad I picked it up because of all the foolishness that's going on with Amazon and like them delaying the time and saying August and then saying July and then I think it currently says like June 28th or something like that, which is a little bit better than, August. But anyway, I got the book, got it, already started highlighting in the book with my thoughts and with my feelings. Um, I reached out to the publicist over at Children, so I already got an art. So I started it ahead of time, and I wanted to see the difference between when I started it the first time and this time around. And the first time I started it, I mean, I had a lot of thoughts, I had a lot of feelings, I had a lot of like notes. I'll show you a little bit. I had a lot of notes going on here. Um, More notes going on here, more notes going on. Like there was a lot going on when I first started this. And I think now that I finally have the book, there's just less notes and a little bit of highlighting because I mean there's not much space to be writing all in the margins and all the things. But I've really enjoyed it so far. I mean, I've enjoyed it, this second time around, and I'm super excited. Hey, everybody! I'm super excited to have this devotional in my hands and not have to wait all the way to August or July or even the end of June for it. It was like an early, like God wink. I see you. Here's the book. Happy birthday. All the things wrapped up in once. I have his other books. I mean, Joshua Giles is like an auto buy. So I have his other books. And the one you self pub, I have that one. You will see in prophetic forecast, there's only two little tabs because prophetic forecast is completely different than anything I've ever read, and anything I expected to read. And it was great. I just think it's a different kind of book. And so if you look at Mantle for Greatness, I annotated this. So there are tabs for all kind of things. There are words that I like specific things that I thought were literally for me that he wrote. There were in-depth questions that I wrote that went beyond his notes or beyond his questions. And then blue is for definitions and things that I thought were interesting. So a lot of it is pink and purple, the specifics that I thought were for me, and then in-depth questions that I had beyond his questions. And Mantle for Greatness is not like a standalone, I'm going to read this by myself. I think for Mantle for Greatness, you need a community, you need a small group to read this with because he asks enough questions that you need to dive deep with other people to grow better in community with. So for like one of his mantle moments, I put um some answers to it, but I felt like there are some people that I needed to talk to in order to like get to the root of what I was thinking and what I was feeling. And then there are other mental moments that I thought were great, but then it led me to ask more questions of myself. Like he always talks about in his preaching and his teaching and his prophetic forecast on Monday, how like God starts with an idea, like you're waiting on God to drop down $50,000 in your lap, but $50,000 could be in the form of a God idea that He has given you. And so in Mantle for Greatness, I took some of those very same concepts and was like, what are some of the ideas that God has given me that I've just kind of neglected, that I thought to the side, that I was like, I don't have the people, I don't have the resources, I don't have the things that I need to do the God idea that He has given me. Like, what are those things? And what can I do to move forward with the God idea and not just throw it on the shelf and be like, well, God, that is too big for me. I don't see how I can take it in bite sizes. I'm just gonna do something else with it. And so Mantle for Greatness is a book I annotated. And hey, good afternoon. It's a book I annotated, and I think that it needs to be in community with other people. I think Prophetic Reset can be in community with other people as well. I mean, it's 40 days. You can jump in, talk about the story that he gave, and you can pray together and then talk about where it led you. Like, I feel like it's a good small group discussion. It's a small group kind of conversation where you can get together on Zoom, you can get together on Teams, however you like to get together, and discuss each and every day. And then, as I did before I got the actual book, write down like what I feel like God was saying to me in that portion. It's all over the place. But what I feel like God was saying to me, what directions He was giving me to do, like even if I thought, one of the things I did in this big section here, is I broke it down. Like, all right, He talked about like this. Today's verse came from Jeremiah. Well, who was Jeremiah? What was he talking about? What was going on when Jeremiah wrote this? Like, I just kind of broke that down as well so that I can get more out of just this devotional than just reading the little bit of story and the prayer. I kind of made it my own little Bible study kind of thing where I wrote down like who the author was and who the audience was and what's the context of Jeremiah and how that could relate or not relate to my life depending on the time I had. So I kind of expanded his devotional beyond just doing this for like 5 minutes or for 4 minutes or 3 minutes, setting a timer, whatever. I expanded it so that I could get more out of just reading this and leaving it at that. I wanted more out of it. And so that's what I did in my own personal time is I just took day one and I read it through and then I broke it down for myself because one thing with devotionals I find is challenging for myself is it's short, but I have more time and I've devoted more time in my morning routines to take the time necessary. So I'm going to bed at 8 o'clock, 8:30, 7:30, and I'm getting up at 3, 4, 5 so that I can devote as much time as I need to in the study of the word and then starting my day because I know I need to start my day with the Lord and not just give him like my 10 minutes of my day. Not saying that 10 minutes is bad, but I know for me that I've allotted more time. And so it's easy for me to just go to bed early, go to bed before the sun goes down, and get up and be refreshed and spend as much time as I need in the word before I jump into my actual 9 to 5. So that is one thing I did. I took notes in the margin of here. I wrote down what I felt the Lord was leading me and then the directives that He gave me. If I'm reading about God launching me out again and about me accomplishing something new and about me starting over again and God bringing restoration and me rejoicing in the midst of all this pain, like what is God calling me to launch out again? What is He calling me to do? How is He bringing um, restoration in my life? What are the areas in my life that I feel like I've missed in opportunities? He talks about opportunities are beginning to open for you right now. What are those opportunities that I felt like I've missed in the past? What is my sphere of influence as it relates to opportunities coming in my way, coming towards me? And then are there places in my life where I feel like I have been stuck, where I have allowed the circumstances of life to stop me from getting the door open, for allowing God to get the door open, for renewing my mind from a past season where I felt like, oh, I tried this thing, I got stuck at this thing, I don't want to try it again. How can I, along with the Holy Spirit, renew my mind so that I can see fresh, so I can start anew, so I can relaunch again with a different strategy, with a different new renewed mind and passion. And so that's what came out of day one for me in his devotional. Um, I started highlighting like, don't ever believe God does not see you. Like I feel like with this author prayer series and with these author interviews, like every time I get a yes, I mean, even if I got a no, right? That God sees me through it, and whether I'm going to stop because I got to know, or whether I'm going to persevere, pivot, and go to the next person is what I got from them. And if He's releasing to me a fresh start, and He's bringing restoration and recovery to my life, in what areas is He bringing restoration and recovery? If I'm starting a whole new season, which He says on page 13, it says the phrase fresh start that God used to prophetically define the new moment means that God is going to hit the reset button. And this next leg of your journey will be as if you are starting a whole new season. What's the new season I'm starting? What opportunities are coming my way? What are the doors that are opening now for me in my sphere of influence? And then what is God getting ready to catapult me into that I can be prepared for? And what are the ways I'm going to celebrate it? Like I know that there are a lot of things that has been going good in my life, but I don't necessarily celebrate those things. But I think for the month of June specifically, I have celebrated so much. I have celebrated every announcement, every acceptance, every yes. It's just been like every little thing has become a celebration for me, because I never want to be ungrateful for the good things that God is doing in my life. And so I have been celebrating this entire month, like even with the author prayer series and author interviews, like talking with Joshua or talking with any of the authors this month. I've been celebrating as a mini birthday celebration and celebrating their book birthdays. That has been really important to me. And even when things happen and I feel like I'm taking a step backwards, like I can set my mind on the things above and remind myself that God has been faithful, will be faithful, and will continue to be faithful, and just celebrate and be gracious, celebrate and be in full gratitude for all that God is going to do. And so I've enjoyed this devotional. I enjoyed the prayer. I added my own prayer to the prayer that's listed in this book, because as I was reading the prayer that he wrote, I added some other things that I thought was really important. And to see the difference between when I first started this in this little arc paperback and where I am now is it seems like it's a completely different person, because the things that I wrote in this set of things is a lot of like, okay, where's the joy? Where's the celebration? Where's the happiness? Like, I feel like I've been crying out for mercy on behalf of family members and friends and their circumstances. But where is the joy and the celebration that's coming for me? And that's coming in the season of answered prayer for those that I have been crying out for mercy for. And so that has been a completely different shift in the way that my mind has been from the start of this back in, I think it's April. Yeah, from the start of this back in April to now June, I can see that the Lord's hand has been answering some things. It's been a fresh start. I feel like I'm entering a fresh start. I know in his prophetic forecast, he talked about wins and it being a time of rejoicing and a time of celebration, and he's wanting people to send testimonies. But I feel like I got some things that I need to testify about, and I got some things that I need to share about, and the acceptance of a lot of different things. One of my prayers lately has been that God would restore some things that has really taken me out. There has been some things that have been really challenging, and I'm like, God, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to interact with those people anymore. I have no desire to do any of that. And I know that that has come from a place of hurt and pain. And so now I'm like, Lord, can you just heal that so we can go back to that place? Because that place in that place, I was a lot happier. I was joyful. I wasn't dealing with social anxiety. I wasn't concerned about if I walk inside of a space, like, who I'm gonna talk to. Do I have to be friendly? Do I have to be on? Do I have to fake it till I make it with the energy level? I I'm over the energy level and the fake it till I make it and the try to muster up something that I'm feeling in the moment. Um and so that has been in my experience with day one, a fresh start from April, and now looking at it again in June. It has been completely different and unique for me, and seeing how God has used each of his books to really layer on some things. I feel like Prophetic Forecast was a completely different beast of a book. And then Mantle for Greatness was kind of like that. I'm going to ease you into a small group type discussion of believing God for bigger, of recognizing that God has bigger, that He has a God sized dream for you, and that you can't do it in isolation. You have to do it with the community. And so I felt like that was the catalyst I needed to start getting my mind ready. And then we got Prophetic Reset, which is kind of aligning me back and aligning us back to God's plan for our lives, so that once we recognize these God-sized dreams that the Lord has given us, we can now take all the things that has come to take away those God-sized dreams and begin to prioritize our relationship with the Lord back again. Okay? So that is all literally I wanted to share, is how these three books, Prophetic Forecast, Mantle for Greatness, and Prophetic Reset, has really challenged me and grown me and activated me into this person who is really ready to get back into the things of God that I, in my heart, desired to go back to, and go back to being that person of joy and fulfillment, and that wants to serve people, wants to serve in ministry, wants to serve, authors and publishing professionals, and build a community of people that would literally pray for authors and literally pray for those in the in the publishing community. That is literally one of my prayers, that I would find a group of people outside of myself that will pray for authors from the time that they've submitted a proposal to anywhere, anybody, to the time of publication and beyond. Like, I think that is really, really important. And so as I go through Prophetic Reset and as I seek the Lord about these things, that's one of the things that I'm seeking him about. Like, I know that you have allowed this prayer series, and I know that you have allowed these interviews, and that your hand is on it, and that I'm getting yeses and I'm getting nos, and I'm getting challenges and I'm getting not yets, and I'm pivoting and all these things. But I would really love to build a community for those who pray for authors, who pray for publishing professionals. You don't have to be a publishing professional, but that will pray for other authors. So when I am in the DMs of other people, when I'm in the DMs of authors and agents and all of that, it's literally to pray for them and to see if I can build a team. Like for November and NaNoWriMo, I want to build a team where we are praying every day, Monday through Friday, for authors, for writers, for content creators, for all of those things. And so that is my heart. For this author prayer series. That's my heart for these author interviews. And I am so grateful for those of you who are commenting, those who watch my YouTube videos, those who comment on the YouTube videos, who are subscribed, who like and comment and do all the things. Those of you who are on Instagram, who are commenting now. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll let you guys know when we reschedule this author interview with Joshua Giles. I'll check with the team, see when he is available again. Thank you so much for joining me, for commenting, for liking, for doing all the things, for engaging with my platform. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, y'all.